Hi guys, so today I'm going to do what I think is going to be a quick project. I have a couple of things in mind, so I might do both of them in this one video. We will see, but people have been curious about this Becca Feeken Filigree Booklet. It had been on sale on Spellbinders, so I had picked it up, and a bunch of other people had picked it up and asked if I would do something with it. So I'm going to do that today. If I have links in the description box, they will be affiliate links, which means I will make a small commission if you use those links to make any purchases. So we'll just get started. So this one, it seems very straightforward. The only thing that might be questionable, or you might have, you know, is the binding, because you are going to do a little bit of binding here on your own. So I have some colors here that I think I want to use today. Let me see here. Excuse me. I still have some of the paper from when I made the pop-up cake with the Anna Griffin dies and stuff. So what I'm going to do is basically make the booklet out of this stuff. So I'm going to use some of this, and I just have a big piece of it. It looks like it's in my paper pack here. Whenever I use a paper and I have some left over, I just shove it in this basket next to me. So this was there, but I'm pretty sure this is Anna Griffin's gold paper, the matte. And so I'm going to do that with the outer booklet. And maybe I'll run that through first. You don't have to do it this way. This one's quite a bit larger than this middle size, but you can make, I think on Spellbinders they say to make a mini card, and they say to just use this smaller area, but it's kind of odd because it has that line there. But I prefer to use this, obviously, for the outer booklet. You can do whatever you like. And then I'm trying to think of if I want to go ahead and run through the second die right now. This, which filigree I want to use. Oh, they're both so pretty, but I'm tending towards this one because I don't really know where the middle of this die is. I mean, I have to just eyeball it at this point if I was to put this in here. Maybe like there. Let me take a ruler. So you can always cut it out first. It does have little marks where the middle of it is on the other side, right? So for now, what I'm going to do is kind of eyeball, let's say it's about 6.5 inches, I want to say, because the cutting line is kind of like in here. Let's say 6.5. So then this thing should be at 3.25, leaving a little space. Yeah, so it's kind of going to leave a good amount of space all around. Okay, so I eyeball that pretty well. I'm going to still straighten it out a little bit. And this will be the front of the book, so that's why I'm just kind of going to take some of the tack off this, because I know this thing's going to get real sticky. Put it there. And so I was checking this out. This does, it's just the width of the marquee, and I would probably not use it in there. I mean, it is exactly right on the line. So, you know, is it worth trying? I don't know. I don't know that that's the best option. I am going to use one of my larger machines. This is an Empress mini plate, and it is just bigger than the Empress mini plate. But having done that, and I saw this thing shift, I'm going to tape a little bit more. Put a little more tape on here. Okay, so I'm going to use my Empress, I guess. And then people, I measure it with the marquee, and then people ask me if it'll go through the Gemini. If it goes through the marquee, because this is very small, it'll go through your Gemini. Your Gemini has like a 6.5 inch or so opening, okay? So let me turn this on. Yeah, anytime something fits through the marquee, it will definitely fit through any of your other machines that are larger, obviously. So that's not a worry. I think I just forgot to mention that one time. And then, you know what? I just remember you guys gave me a tip, because I tell you, I always get marks all over my gold paper here, this stuff. And everyone says to run it through with a piece of copy paper. So, oh, I happen to have a piece right here. It's from Tonic. And I'm going to double it over because I don't want to cut it. So we'll see what happens, guys. I'm going to put this on here. See if it improves that. And this machine, for whatever reason, all these little gouges that are on here or anywhere will get on my paper for sure. So we'll try it out. All right, guys. So we just need one outer, and then I picked these colors for the inner pages, and their recommendation on Spellbinders site, like it says, to make your little bundle, it says they recommend 3 pages. You can, you know, increase that if you like, but I'm going to go with what they're recommending. I don't know that this has any embossing with it. Embossability, if you will. I think that's very pretty just the way it is, so I'm not going to run it back through. I don't think there's a reason to run it back through, to be honest. So I'm going to flick out all these little pieces, and okay, less lines. I still see a little bit of that candle from the pop-up birthday card, but not too bad. Okay, let me pop out these pieces and clean up here, and then we'll get the inner pages
And
cut.
because
The longer score line is here, you're not going to have it really on here. You're going to have these little tiny marks that kind of tell you where you're going to score. So I'm going to get my scoring tool out, and hopefully I can score it that way. Try to see if I can see on the back here. Okay, that looks like it's right on the 3 1/4 inch line, which kind of is what I measured earlier. And I'm just doing it very lightly. Oh, maybe I should do a little bit again. Do it one more time, a little bit deeper. Okay. Oh, you know what I just recently ordered? I did want to mention the Crafter's Companion recipe. I think it's called Santa's Kitchen. I got it on Craft Stash. Super cute. I got the whole collection because they're adorable. And again, I get it from Craft Stash because I trust them to deliver and not have any issues in my orders. But I believe it's also on Crafter's Companion site right now. I'm just carefully unfolding that because of the paper. How cute. And you could you know, do the filigree on both sides. I think it's better to keep it just to one side, a little more sturdy. And yeah, so cute. And you know, I was looking at the recipes if they make sense, because it's basically a stamp with a recipe and then some cute little like gingerbread man and other little things like that to go with the stamp sets and dies, I guess. You know, I don't know if it has dies. Huh. Super cute. So I was like, well, the recipes make sense, but they do ask for caster sugar, which I think is funny because that's a British kind of way of talking about sugar, like regular sugar or sometimes superfine sugar, but they say caster sugar, and I'm like, And it is in cups and not ounces, but it'll be interesting. I think they're just cute, so we'll see if the recipes actually make a recipe. So what I'm gonna do is run these through, and these are just basic, just these inserts. I'm gonna run it through on this paper, I'm gonna run it through on some white cardstock and some pink cardstock, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the last one cut out here, and so this is the part they're a little bit tricky, but not really. So it depends on what you want to do and how you like to do your little binding. Do you want to also include the binding on the outer edge of this guy? If you do, you're gonna have to make your own holes. Just basically take this and, you know, put it on here and pop the holes through, right? You can mark it and then pop it through with whatever awl or a punch or whatever it is that you like to use. I even have one of these old school punches where you can go anywhere on the page and you hit it in the back and it makes a hole, or like this thing, just make a hole. Okay, that's all you're gonna do. But I'm just gonna do like it says in the well, actually it doesn't say anything on the instructions there, but on their website, if you look up the item, it tells you a little bit about binding. I'm gonna try to sit down again here, guys. Sorry. All right, so these guys have marks, so we definitely want to fold them. I suppose you could sew it first and then fold them, but I'm just going to fold them all and see where we end up. Oh, that one got a good line, a good crease. Okay. Let's do it this way. So the white's going to be showing through the gold, right? And then the next page has some cute little stripe with the white, and then this one has white and then pink, and then the two pink in the center. So if I put the white one on this opposite side, it'd be a lot of white, 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 right, as you're going through, so it's better to kind of mix it up. And then you're supposed to use ribbon, and I'm like, ribbon? How are you going to get ribbon through here? But if you really look, I'm sorry, I don't know why it's so dark right now. Try to get this lighting closer. The holes are pretty good size, so if you have like an organza ribbon or something like that, I think it'll work really well, or like maybe seam binding or something like that. But I looked over because I was like, I'll just get some, what's this stuff called? Embroidery thread. Excuse me. And when I went to look, I have this really old jar sitting on my one of my bookcases here, and I got this at a estate sale, and I bought an antique singer from this lady. It was like the first iteration of that they went electric, and I was like, I have to get that. So it's a gorgeous singer machine. She's in her little cabinet and everything. But this was in the cabinet box, right? Because it was actually like a seating area. It even has so you can dip your pen and all that. So it's like a really nice cabinet that the machine is in. And this was in there, and I mean, it has all these old buttons and all this cute stuff. And I just pray every day that it's not haunted, you know, because I'm like, okay, I don't believe in that stuff, but still. All right, so I'm gonna take this, and yeah, everything that's in here is from that lady, so, or whoever it was that had that machine. So like all these little vintage buttons in here, do you see that? I don't know if you can see these kind of weird, a lot of cool things. So kind of fun to have, but really odd. Well, this was in there, so I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So I'm gonna take this, and then I just need a needle, and like I said, the holes are pretty big, so I would say give yourself the biggest needle you can to make it comfortable, right? Make it easy. So I'm going to thread this needle. I don't really know how much thread I need. Doesn't look like too much. So on Spellbinders, they tell you a little bit about go up and down, and you're like, what? So let me see. I'm gonna cut it because I don't want to keep the whole thing. I'm doing like 1.5 feet of. This is I think they call that pearl cotton. It's basically like embroidery floss, so you can use that. So I think they say, this is what I read, to start up here, go down into that hole, come up the next hole. This is super easy. And like I said, this needle's pretty big. Up the next hole, down the next one. And if you want to just, like some people say they like to put glue on the end of their thread or tape, then do that. All right. So we went down, up, up. Now we're here. It says to go back down here. And then, yeah, that's a lot of thread. I didn't even need to use all of it. Oh. And then let it go, right? So it's in the back now, that piece of thread. And the one that we've started with, we're just going to thread up again. Or not thread up, but put it back in our, oopsie. And now this part, go down to the back. And then when you turn it over, they're both basically the same. So now we have them back here. So that's it. And then you're just going to tie it up. And it says to put a dab of glue if you want. Yeah, that's up to you. So we're just going to tie it up. It's already pretty snug. I was like, maybe I need to tighten it, but no, that's pretty good. So I don't know. I'm going to do a knot, I guess. If this was going to go through the entire booklet, you know, through here, I would put a cute little bow. Because basically you're going to end up in the middle. So if this was in here and you were out here, you put a little bow and it's super cute. So there's that. I'm going to just trim off these ends, even though it hurts me to waste so much of this pretty floss. And they say you can put a little dab of glue there, but now what you need to do is go ahead and put glue on the spine here so you can layer it up and have your little booklet. And that's it. Again, probably next time I would put the holes out here and go ahead and bind it to the outside because I think that's really cute. But for now, let me take a good glue that sticks kind of quickly, which would be a tacky glue. You definitely want to use a wet glue for this. And basically you're going to run this bead of glue down the spine of this. And I'm not going to mess with it until it's set. So I'm going to put some glue on here. And then, and hopefully in the pictures I'll be able to show you kind of what we're doing here. And you know what? Yeah, that's fine. I was going to try to tuck away the little string, but I'll just trim it down later. So basically I'm just going to keep this shut, hold on to it for a little bit just to give it some training, and then it'll be done. But I'm not going to flip through it quite yet because this needs to stay in there. Alright, so let's move on. I have one other idea with this set, and that'll be it. Okay, and for this one I just want to do a quick shaker card. What's funny is I really like this filigree one, and it would be nicer because you can see more through it, but I'm going to go with this one just so we can see the two different ones. And I'm just going to cut this out. I'm going to measure it. Oh my gosh, sorry. That's something in my throat. Alright, where is... I just had my ruler, did I not? Here it is. So it is about 2 3/4 inches wide and 3 3/4 tall here. So 2 3/4, 3 3/4. Let me write that down real quick before I forget. I will forget that quickly. 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I'm going to cut a rectangle piece of paper out of the red because I love red. And I chose I'm going to make this like a Christmas card type feel. So I chose really deep kind of colors. I have a cream. I have like this almost burgundy red and like a really kind of dark green. And so I'm going to cut it at 3 by 4. Okay. So I'm going to cut the red paper at 3 by 4 and I'll be right back. Okay, so again, we cut this one at 3 by 4. I cut a green mat that's 3.5 by 4.5, and this is just our standard A2 size card, 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm gonna fold it right down. And this is just gonna be a piece of the card, like it's not gonna take up the whole card because that little filigree is obviously a little bit small. So I think this is cute, and I think if you even did it the other way and measured it for this way, that'd be really cute to put the item here and then maybe your sentiment over here, but I'm still orienting it this way. So we're gonna cut this out of here real quick. So I'm just gonna eyeball this, push it down the center there. Hopefully that doesn't move too much. And out in this corner. And I'm gonna run it through the marquee since it is small and I can put it through there. I'll be right back. Okay. Yep. And I'm just going to pop out all the little pieces, make sure they all flick out, and I will be right back. Okay, so I just cut down a piece of acetate to 3 by 4. I just had a little scrap and it was just about the right size, so I was like, pretty cool. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of this. I'll use this fine tip applicator, again, run it through your Xyron, whatever it is. And you do not have to have acetate. If you have like stamped carrier sheet or packaging, you know, any packaging that comes in like those clear plastic clamshell type things, just anything that you can put behind here that's clear. And I'm just putting some dots of glue here and there. I'm not really being too particular about it. And I'm just going to line these guys up, hopefully. Oh, I just put glue on my finger and put it on the back of the acetate, which is not the best. This glue does dry clear, so it's not the biggest deal. So I'm gonna hold this down until it's on there and I'll be right back. So I know I gave it a very thin margin around the whole area, so when I go to put my tape on, I'm gonna have to cut this down a little bit, and I'll probably start off by doing that. It looks like it might just make it, but I don't want to let me see. Oh my gosh. It is like the thinnest margin as well there, so at least I have that. Let me see if I have another area. Do you see that? I don't see it from behind or from the front on either side. Now the edges, let me see, I should be able to do the same thing on the top. Oh my gosh. I'll probably just trim that off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just cut down a piece of this. Let me see, how much do I need? Like to here. You don't want to have gaps, so we already know that. So always cut that down really well. And if I can cut this right in half, I can use both halves. We'll see how sticky this is. Sometimes when this stuff is too sticky, it'll stick to your scissors and then it's like over with. Like it's just not going to work for you. So gotta be careful. And that. I think I'm still going to use this, guys. I was going to use one side and then cut another one, but I think I'm going to be able to use both sides. Okay, that's good enough right there. Yep, not the best, but it'll work. Okay. Oh my gosh, that was perfectly snug to the other end. Okay, I'm going to apply the other one on the other side, and I'm going to trim this off too. Clean off my scissors. Suppose these are non-stick, but as you can see, it still sticks. I mean, it was non-stick to a certain point. And if anything's kind of hanging off this edge, I'm just going to cut it off. But you know, it looks pretty good. It's this edge. Just going to cut it off. Okay, I'll be right back. So we're going to bring back this piece that again is 3.5 by 4.5. And it has some texture. I'm going to go ahead and leave the texture side up. This paper just happens to be texture on one side, not on the other. And another thing people like to do is just kind of color the outside of your foam the same color as your paper, just so it's less noticeable. But if you want to take the time to do that, please do. And you can do it on all the edges, on the inner edges, on the side edges, however you want. I just leave it. I always take seams the path of least resistance. All right, let's see here. Oh my gosh, you guys, I had a feeling my nails were breaking because they're so long. And sure enough, I took off my polish yesterday and I can see that this nail, look how far back in it's breaking. And then this one, So I make them pointy, which is not really what I do in the fall anyway, because I like this Halloween season to have pointy nails. But yeah, those are gonna break. Those are definitely gonna break. So I have to be very careful. I'm sure it didn't have anything to do with gardening and pulling out plants and planting 3 new trees in the backyard yesterday. All right, I don't know if that's enough. We need more. So I'm just gonna use this little gold mix from Crafter's Companion, but obviously put whatever you like. I don't think there's an up or down with this one, so it's just what it is. And I'm gonna try to center it. You know what, before I do that, I see there's a little piece sticking out right here. I want to cut away. And maybe a little bit more down here. Alright. That's a little bit better. There's a little bit on top too. You know what? I'll put that towards the bottom. Alright. You can see we need to flatten this out. We need to let this kind of flatten out a little bit. There we go. So pretty. Okay. And then I was going to put this here and then have a space down here for like a sentiment, whatever it might be. So it's more elegant, a little fancier, you know. So let me put this down here, and then I will find some kind of sentiment that doesn't have to be part of the tutorial, and I'll put it down here, maybe Merry Christmas or something cute like that. Yeah, a little poinsettia. Ooh, that would be adorable. Anyways, you can dress it up however you like. I just want to give you another idea to use this, and thanks for watching, guys. I will... Oh, let me grab the little book and see if it's kind of ready to mess with. I don't know if it is. But let me put this glue on here. Yeah, that's why I think it would be kind of cute to do it this way. Just so it's a little unexpected, right? Having something just kind of hanging out there. And I'm trying to center it. Okay. Where did I put it under some books so that it would stay flat. But there it is. Cute little guy. The front, I would assume that the front page, yeah, is going to stick to the front cover because of the way we put the glue down the center. And then you can even do whatever you like. You can even use the filigrees inside the pages. They fit in there really fine. Look how cute the binding looks. So really cute little book. Throw in some little school pictures for, you know, grandma or whoever. I think that'd be really sweet. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll have some pictures for you. I'll have links in the description box, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye now.